morning. Today we are going to discuss how to measure the interfacial tension by liquid drop method. There is a surface tension exists between, say, suppose water drop, a water drop kept in another liquid. This is one liquid. There is a water, liquid one, is kept in another liquid two. And what is the surface tension? Right? Surface tension between one liquid and other liquid. That is called interfacial tension, which we are going to measure now. For this, you need an apparatus. See a tube, you take a tube, a glass tube of some radius. This is R is the internal radius of the tube, and this is connected by a rubber tubing, a rubber tube. Rubber tube, it is connected to a rubber tube, and also provided with some pinch cork, so that what you can close the gap to control the flow of water. How to send the water? That means this tube is connecting between this glass tube G, and this is a rubber tube, and this is a connect by a funnel. There is a funnel. This is a glass funnel. Now this rubber tube with screw or pinch cork, right, connected with what? A funnel and the glass tube. F is the funnel. Now this glass tube should be immersed in a kerosene. Immersed in a kerosene. See, rho K represents density of the kerosene. And this funnel and the rubber tube, all these things are fixed. Right? It is fixed here by the help of a stand. With the help of the stand, right? It is fixed here. Can you follow? Now consider a glass connected to a funnel by mean of what? A short rubber tube provided with pinch cork. What is the use of this pinch cork? Suppose you pour water here, water will flow, right? Before that, before beginning itself, what you have to do is, without kerosene, right, pour the water here, the funnel. This is the rubber tube. Okay, adjusting the pinch cork, right? The funnel and glass tube are fixed already, right? It is the initial stage. The funnel glass tube are fixed in a stand such that the tube is vertical. This tube should be vertical. Water is poured, and by operating the pinch cork, you can adjust the gap. Adjust the gap such a way that 5 to 6 drop per minute should fall, so that 5 to 6 drop per minute flows down. Then you take it keep it in the kerosene. Okay, I'll repeat again. A long glass tube with a rubber, small short rubber, what do you call, rubber tube we can call, connected to a funnel. Okay, got it? The funnel, the glass tube, all are in the vertical. This rubber tubing, short rubber tube is what? Provided with pinch cork, right? Now pour water here and operate the pinch cork. Close the gap slowly so that 5 to 6 drop per minute flows down. Then what? You take kerosene in a beaker and that put the tube inside so that the tube should be immersed in the kerosene. This is a very, very important. This is a kerosene. Don't keep it outside. It should be what? Immerse. This tube should immerse inside the kerosene of the beaker. Now this is density of water. Understood? This complete carries a description. Can you follow? Now the second part is what? The theory. What actually happening is what? The water is falling here, right? One drop will fall here, another drop like that. Okay, lot of drop will be collected here. There is a separate experiment you are going to do in lab. Now I am taking this portion, right? Right, R is the radius. In the beginning, what will happen? The drop takes a spherical shape, right? Gradually changes its shape as it falls down. After some time, not it will be a form of cylinder. When it drop out of the liquid, right, it will take a cylindrical shape. In the beginning, it was like a sphere, right? But what happens? The interfacial tension pulls up. It prevents, right, between the glass and the water in the liquid. It tries to prevent. If T is the surface tension, right? And what is the surface tension? What is surface tension? Force per unit length. Force per unit length. What is the length? This is the length. All the places, right? The length is what? 2 pi r. Therefore, upward force. What is upward force? Upward force is equal to T into 2 pi r. Can you follow? Upward force. But what is the downward force? Right? Downward force is what? Excess of pressure inside the liquid drop. Pressure is equal to force per unit area, you know this. Because of the pressure is equal to force per unit area. Okay? This force is called downward forces, it is acting. At the same time, you kept in the kerosene, is it not? This is kept in the kerosene. Whenever this drop, that means this kept in a kerosene, is it not? This kept in a kerosene. Here what happens? There is an upward force. Upward force also acting. Again I'll tell you. Look. In the beginning, if R is the radius, now the liquid this is a liquid drop, so take a spherical shape and gradually what? It is falling down. See, this is the kerosene, right? It is in the kerosene. You can observe that in the lab. Then finally, what is actually happening in this process? Because of this, there is an upward force due to interfacial tension. T is the tension force per unit length. What is length? Length is 2 pi r. Therefore, upward force, this is called upward force. Upward force is equal to 2 pi r into T. Remember this. But at the same time, there is an internal pressure, excess of pressure inside the liquid. And finally, when it falls here, what happens? Once it's detached, it will take a cylindrical shape. Once it falls a cylindrical shape. Then finally, it falls on the floor of the beaker. Right? For cylindrical shape, what is excess of pressure? Surface tension per unit area. Understood? You know what is the area of this? Once it was sphere, it became a cylinder. Okay. Therefore, pressure is equal to force per unit area, T into A. Right? Now, this is what force? This is upward force. But this is what? Downward force. Therefore, downward force is equal to here what? Sorry, this what is the formula here? I did a mistake here. What is that? Excess of pressure is given by surface tension by R, T by R for the cylindrical shape. Therefore, excess of pressure is equal to T by R. Pressure is equal to force per unit area. Again, you know this. What is the force? Force is what? This is downward force into T by R. Therefore, the downward force is equal to T by R into A. But A is what? Area of the sphere, is it not? Area of the sphere is equal to T by R pi R square. Right? Pi R square, this R get cancelled. Therefore, pi T R. Okay? Remember, it's not area of a sphere. See, this is the area, force. This force is acting on this area, remember. Not the entire area of a sphere. The sphere has become here, what is that? Cylinder. And the force is acting on this area. This area is what? R is radius, area. Therefore, that is why I am writing pi R square. Some students, what is that? Area of a sphere is what? 4 pi R square. No. This force is acting on this base area, not everywhere, downward force. Therefore, pi R square, you write, right? Therefore, for downward force is equal to pi T R, you got it. Now, upward force is this. Now, there is an upthrust is acting. Whenever a body is falling inside the liquid, it experiences a loss of weight. This loss of weight is called upthrust or buoyant force. I'll tell you again what is buoyant force. Now the liquid has spherical shape to cylindrical shape. The downward force is acting on this area. This is R is the radius. Area is pi R square. This entire thing is happening in the kerosene medium, right? But there is an upthrust acting on this body. What is an upthrust force? It's called buoyant force, right? Suppose weight in air is equal to 10 gram. Weight in water or kerosene is equal to say 8 gram. That means what is the loss of weight? 2 gram. The loss of weight is called upthrust. Now what is called upthrust? Buoyant force is also called upthrust by Archimedes principle. Upthrust is equal to weight of the liquid displaced. Which liquid displaced here? Weight of the kerosene is displaced. Understood? Weight of the liquid displaced is also called here kerosene, is it not? Remember, therefore, buoyant force is equal to upthrust is equal to, I'm going to calculate weight of the kerosene. Weight of the kerosene is what? Mass of the kerosene, mg, no? Weight is equal to force. Weight is equal to force mg. Density of the kerosene is equal to mass of kerosene and volume of the kerosene. Therefore, mass of the kerosene is equal to density of the kerosene into volume of the kerosene. Can I do this? Then I am substituting here. Therefore, buoyant force is equal to density of the kerosene, volume of the kerosene, G. Then what is the apparent weight? Apparent weight is what? See, 10 minus 8 is an apparent weight. Like it is like this. Therefore, what is apparent weight? Apparent weight is equal to apparent weight of the water drop. Water drop. Apparent weight of the water drop in kerosene. In kerosene. Weight of a water drop in air, and what is this? Buoyant force, upthrust, loss of weight. Understood? What is loss of weight? Upthrust. But upthrust you have calculated here. Weight in air is equal to what? Weight in air, mass of water, g, mg, right? Minus upthrust is what? Kerosene, volume of G, and volume of kerosene displaced. See, volume of kerosene displaced is equal to how much displaced is volume of water only. You know this, right? Volume of kerosene is equal to volume of water. But volume of water is equal to, density of water is equal to mass of water, volume of water, right? Cross multiply here. Volume of water is equal to mass of water and density of water. Now I am going to do the C. How much kerosene displaced? That is equal to volume of water displaced. This volume of water displaces so much volume of kerosene. The volumes are equal, is it not? I am going to substitute here. Therefore, apparent weight is equal to mass of water, G, density of kerosene, V, instead of VK I am going to write VW into G, but VW is what? Mass of water, G minus density of kerosene. VW is what? Mass of water by what? Mass of water and density of water into G. Look. Therefore, apparent weight is equal to mass of water, G, and mass of water, G, density of kerosene and density of water. Now this I take common factor. Mass of water and G, if I take common factor, 1 minus density of kerosene by density of water. Now apparent weight in kerosene. Now what are the things I know? Here there is an upward force, right? This upward force balances the downward force. Two downward forces. What is that? Force here, downward force within the water drop plus weight due to gravity, that is apparent weight of the water drop. What is the apparent weight of the water drop? Upward force is equal to apparent weight of the water drop is this, right? Apparent weight of the drop. What is upward force? What is got upward force? 2 pi r everywhere. 2 pi r into t. That is 2 pi r into t is equal to downward force. What is the downward force you give it? What is the downward force you have done? You already have done this. Yeah. Downward force. Downward force. This is the downward force is acting. The downward force we have calculated pi tr. Pi rt. Whatever it is. Pi tr, pi rt. Plus apparent weight. That is mg 1 minus density of kerosene, density of water. You bring this side. Therefore, pi r t cancels now. right? 2x minus 2x equal to x is cancels, is equal to m mass of water g 1 minus rho k by rho w. Therefore, interfacial tension is equal to mass of water, acceleration due to gravity, pi r into 1 minus density of corrosion and density of water. This is the theory. You can calculate. But in actual practice, interfacial tension is equal to pi is replaced by what? 3 point, they will give us some value. Pi is replaced by 3.8 r. This is calculation by corrections. This is called correction by Rayleigh. By Rayleigh correction, we use this formula in lab to calculate. But R is what? Inner diameter of the tube. R is the inner diameter of the tube. Using screw gauge you can find out. And mass of the water, that is mass of 1 drop of water you can calculate, right? There is a different method, very simple procedure. You take a empty beaker, find out the weight of this, and what? Collect 25 drops, find out the weight of it, W2, weight of the 25 drops of it. Again what? Further you collect another 25. W3 you collect it. Further you collect another 25. W4 you collect it. Therefore W2 minus W1 gives what? Weight of 25 drops. Right? Therefore, if I know the weight of the 25 drops, I can calculate single drop. Similarly, W3 minus W2 gives weight of 25 drops. Divided by 25 gives weight of a single drop. Similarly, W4 by W3 gives weight of 25 drops. I can calculate weight of a single drop like this. And inner diameter we can measure using screw gauge. Substitute the formula. Density of corrosion, water will know. Density of water is what? 1 gram per CCR, 1000 kg per meter cube. Density of corrosion less 0.7 or anything like that. Density of corrosion is less than density of water. That is why corrosion floats on water. You understood? So therefore you can calculate this. This completes about say 8 marks they'll ask you for this. 8 marks to 6 marks also sometimes they'll ask. 8 marks also they'll ask. See now I have written the notes for this. This also I will tell you. Here you see. The question is this. Explain with necessary theory how interfacial tension between any two liquid is determined by liquid drop method. Okay. For that what? Funnel. Whatever I said, the description is here. You read it. Theory. Pressure is equal to T by R because for it will take a cylindrical shape, right? P is equal to P by T. In the previous class we have learnt. Then again what? You are calculating the downward force, FD force, this downward force you are calculating, pi RT, downward force. This is C, downward force acting on the drop due to excess of pressure inside the drop. Since water is falling inside the kerosene. Since water is falling inside the kerosene, it means what? The water experiences an upthrust or buoyant force. The apparent weight of the water in kerosene is equal to weight in air by upthrust. Upthrust is equal to buoyant force. Right? That is called loss of weight. What is buoyant force? It is the weight of the liquid displaced. Here the liquid is what? Kerosene here. Now weight of the liquid is kerosene is what? Weight is what? Mass into acceleration. Density is equal to mass per unit volume. The mass is equal to density to volume. Density to volume. I have done it here. The weight of the corrosive displace is equal to what? I substituted here. I got it. You know, but weight of kerosene is equal to weight of water. Sorry, volume of kerosene displaced is equal to volume of water. Therefore, I substitute here. But density is equal to mass per unit volume. The volume of water is equal to this. I substitute here. Therefore, weight of kerosene displaced is this. The weight of kerosene displaced, this I am going to substitute here. Then mg you take common factor, you will get it. Right? Next, what is this? Here, downward force is pi RT. Apparent weight just you have calculated here. Total downward force is this plus this. But this is just prevented by upward force or clinging force they call it. That is called surface tension. Right? T is equal to surface T 2 pi R. Therefore, upward force is equal to 2 pi R into T, downward force this one. You bring this side, get cancelled, then you are getting this. In actual practice, ray light, by a rigorous analysis, this pi is replaced by 3.8. Okay. Now, this carries 8 marks or 7. They may give what is interfacial tension, what is surface tension, 1 plus 7 or 6 also they may give. Now you have to sit and do it up. Nearly a half an hour it took to explain for you. But careful practice. 2-3 times you do that. Repeat, then go through the notes. Do without looking there. Once, then it will be easy for you. You can finish this question in, you can finish this answer in 7 minutes. Every minute is 1 mark like that. Okay, 7 minutes. Therefore, practice several times. These are the standard important questions. Thank you. This is surface tension video 4. Right? I advise the students who have joined late, please go through the all videos, whatever I have done. Nearly about 20 videos I have done for surface tension, elasticity and all that. It is very detailed way is there. Then after that, go through the notes also given in this, everything. You strictly follow the notes, and after that, you study the textbook, different textbooks, and whatever the doubts you come across, you ask any of our staff. Alright? All teachers are very, very helpful. In fact, they are more experienced than me. In fact, they are what do you say, ready to help for any time for you, right? Therefore, just go through this. If you have any doubt or suggestions, you can send through the message. You know my mobile number. Okay. Thank you. Thanks once for all.